Training, and I thought what better time to speak to you about training when you have an injury or your options of what you can do. I've done a minor operation myself, so I thought it'd be a good time to talk to you guys about it. So you basically have three options. Option number one is that you continue to train, but you train around the injuries. Option number two is that you perhaps focus on something different or do some different activities that don't antagonize the injury. Or option number three is that you have a complete rest. To highlight option number one, give an example. Let's say I've hurt my arm, my shoulder, I can't use one of my arms. So that option would mean me coming to class, but focusing on footwork, perhaps looking at some kicks, perhaps doing some squats and lower body exercises, or practicing my head movement. It doesn't mean that I practice obviously my punches or I take part in sparring, do loads of push-ups and things like that. So continuing with your martial arts training, but making sure you try and adjust and train around the injury. Option number two would mean, to give an example, let's say I have that elbow or shoulder injury and I can't train. Option number two would be to focus on something different. So I may focus on something outside of my martial arts training. For instance, I could focus on some weight training. I could focus on I could just get out there and get some walking done. I could focus on some relaxation, some meditation, some stretching. I could focus on improving my knowledge of fitness, researching recipes and things like that. So option number two is focusing on something completely different to your regular martial arts training. And option number three is unfortunately having to rest. Obviously all injuries and things are different, there's different severities of them, but option number three, sometimes you will just have to completely rest. There's nothing you can do. However, what I do not recommend is that you shut yourself away from the world and eat bag after bag of crisps until you're ready to go training. You can still keep up with some elements of training, i.e. healthy eating, watching training videos, even pop down to the classes and watch the class in action to see if you can learn through observation. But sometimes, yeah, you do need to have a complete rest and you can't take part in the classes or do anything physical, but you can still do elements of training that necessarily aren't so physical, like the ones I've just mentioned. But yeah, definitely do not just go, well, I can't train, so I'm just going to eat junk food and lock myself away and just watch box set after box set. Because when you are in a position to start training, you're not going to want to do it. You're going to be out of the routine, you're going to feel like rubbish, and it's going to be a real difficult uphill battle to get back to training. So you know your body best with your injuries. Like say you have option one, which is dependent on the severity. Option one is coming back to class, but speaking to the instructors, to the coaches and seeing what you're going to be doing in class and if there's a way you can train around it. Generally there is. So taking part in your regular martial arts sessions, but missing out the bits that may aggravate the injury. Option number two is focus on something different to your martial arts. Could be weights, could be walking, could be running, could be stretching, could be meditation, could be researching nutrition, could be researching different equipment you could purchase, things like that. And then option number three is just having to rest and wait for the worst of it to pass over. But remember, option number three, just because you're resting doesn't mean say you can just throw every element and aspect of training to the wayside. You still need to keep up with your nutrition and things like that, so that when you are in a position to train, then you can come back hopefully stronger. So I hope this video helped you. If you do have injuries, obviously always speak to the doctor, communicate with them, listen to your own body. Don't try and push it. I remember when I was 17, 18, 19, 20, and I just try and train through everything. But you have to be sensible. It doesn't help with your longevity. Leave your ego to the side. Do what you can. But at the same time, don't be lazy. Push your body to its limits within the realms, obviously, the capabilities of the injury that you have. So yeah, they're my three options, and I thought I'd share them with you. I hope they have helped you.